Hi everyone, this is Nana once again back with the video. So 2 days back, actually I was just flipping through my Facebook account and I came across this video which was posted by The Print. So I think if you go to the YouTube and search for The Print, you can get a video on Know Why Delhi is Called the Rape Capital. Okay, so basically the reporter, what I understand, is trying to interview few locals maybe to understand what is their idea behind why rape has happened. So that is the question that he's putting forward. Now first of all, let me just totally disagree with the title because you cannot just categorize a particular sect of people based on a boundary or a state or even the gender, that just because a few people have one thing to be noticed is the sample size is very less, and we don't know if they have put in or edited in a way whether the entire sample size were included. So I feel the sample size is very less, and I'll come to it because it's pretty much depressing also, even if it's a minority that has very negatively commented on that particular question. But I would say this is not the title. Maybe you can put it as a question, but not a title like this. Now coming on to the video, what you could see if you watch is that a few people, very few, as I said, very few have commented on this question as to why rape is happening with women, and I just noticed a few points which I feel is a myth which is still existing in this society. Now luckily I would like to hope that the vast majority that we are in this society would not go for such a comment, and they always respect women. So, but I'm worried about this minority always, because one is enough, for another very bad incident to happen. So, I'm just, disturbed by this small minority, which I believe is having, maybe it's the myth or the environment that they have, been in, which caused them to think so, because it's the thought process that they have which is disturbing according to me. Now the first thing which I've noticed as a common point is about the dressing. They have unanimously, stated that it is because of the revealing clothing of the women that has resulted in the rape. They don't know, they have not even gone to understand if it's the truth, but they have concretized in their ideology that this is the reason. And one even stated that you lose the control. I mean, he loses the control. I've got a lot of men and boys as my friends. I don't see them losing control. So we have a big majority of men, and even women. Some of the women also have such comments because of the influence of the minority who forces them on such ideologies maybe. But with the support of the vast majority, I decided to put up this video. Now there have been a lot of women welfare entities who have been trying to slowly uproot this myth in the minds of people. Now the myth is about the revealing clothes. Now, if you browse to Google, maybe you will be able to see a lot of exhibitions where these entities have tried to communicate with the victims of such assault, and they have tried to replicate the women's wearing at the time when they were raped. Now, if you go through some of the pictures, you can see they are not at all revealing. Now, studies have shown that women who have been totally enclosed with clothing are the ones who have been raped, to be frank. You can see in those pictures of exhibition that there are the frocks, the tiny baby clothings of girl children. I cannot call it a girl because it's a baby. Okay, there are girl children's frock being symbolically represented. So is it the matter of actually revealing? It's a question that such people, I'm not saying all men, because I hugely respect men, because I have known throughout my life a lot of men who respect women. And that is why I'm sitting here. So it's not about the dressing at all. And coming to the part of losing control, I'll take it up, because this is going to be an awareness session according to me. A small session, why you're losing control, or what should be done. Is it the girl's problem, or is it the problem from the other end? Now the second aspect was, we see the girl, see that girl is standing with 5 or 6 friends. You, me, we all have friends. In fact, I have best friends who are boys also, who have been with me, supporting me when I had difficult times, just like my family. Yeah, I'm a lucky one, but it might not be the case with a lot of women, maybe in the rural areas especially. So what is it about the friendship? Because these days you can see the young boys and girls in schools hugging each other and walking. What is the point in that? What is wrong in that? Until you feed the negativity into their brain. They don't feel anything wrong about, or they don't even feel about the barricade of the gender. It's good. I have a huge hope in the upcoming generations. And the next factor was travel. Travel, and also girls should sit inside the home. That is another response which we can identify from those comments in that video. Now, see, this is an age where things might go out of control. There are families where girls have to come out of the 4 walls. We cannot let them stay behind the screen inside the room of kitchen. We are not tools just for that. Sometimes girls or the women have to become the bread earners, isn't it? For the family. They might have to work in a different location. They work hard day and night, sometimes even to support their husbands. We have heard a lot of cases like that, isn't it? And one such case would be a girl who was traveling back to Kerala from Shornur few years back. We know she was traveling by train. We know there are these women compartments, isn't it? But women compartments are meant for women to travel. But it has proved to be a nightmare for women to travel in the evenings, even in that particular compartment. I myself, with that particular incident, when a girl was left alone in that particular compartment because she believed that it would be safe for her to be in the women's compartment, where she was tried to be robbed by a guy. Her head was hit on the walls. She was thrown out of the train. He also jumped, brutally raped her by dragging her into the woods. She was totally unconscious. What did she do? She was not wearing any revealing clothes. Yes, with the course of time, with a lot of time, we are able to ensure justice by giving the capital punishments to these people. But how many of these cases are being reported? So, this is the reality that we are living in right now. My question as a woman would be to these people, this minority group having this myth, would be, why does a man have to enter into the women's compartment at all? So, it's all about the choice that you make. You cannot do something and your actions are a reflection of your behavior. It's not about putting the blame on somebody else. And the final last booming comment which we usually hear is the Indian culture. We want the girls to be following the Indian culture. Indian culture is in the heart. It should be in their heart. We are a land with a father of the nation as Mahatma Gandhi, who has been trying to bring women outside to empower them. All the leaders are trying to empower women, and you're trying to go totally ulta to that, right? And what is this Indian culture that you are talking about? See, I'm not a person who is totally into any political or religious views. I feel we need a balance in the society between this political and religious aspects, because one thing alone will always be a problem for our society, unfortunately. That is the reality, isn't it? So, I've gone to temples and many religious or any other heritage sites. So, recently I had gone to a UNESCO heritage site which was trying to save the parts of the temple, and you can see a lot of sculptures in it, beautiful ones. But have you thought about this revealing part in those sculptures? Or when you go in front of a deity, do you look into the whole aspect? I look onto the face, and I've seen people look onto the face of the deity when they pray. So there is a fear there. There is a fear aspect about the God. But when it comes to the real human beings, the women, they are humans, right? You don't connect these. So there have been revealing sculptures in the temples and some of the revealing clothings for goddesses, beautiful goddesses, isn't it? What does it show? There was an Indian culture long back, which maybe many of them wouldn't like to open the chapters of, where women were independent, where men didn't, they feared to go into such unwanted acts with women. Women were powerful. They had all the freedom to talk about any topics including sex. Why don't we just open the chapters there? We don't. We go into the ages after that, and we want to make sure that the other chapter is forgotten. We want to make sure that the age where the women started getting suppressed is the Indian culture. No, please no. You cannot put a blindfold on historians. Indian culture was much more than what we even thought about. And the next part is rape. Never happens. It's not rape at all. It is consensual. Look, if a person comes and stand in front of you, unless you allow, he will not. That was one comment. I mean, see, if a person who is much more stronger than me, even if I am sitting in my house and tries to break into my house and force on me, if I'm not strong enough, how can that be consensual? So, I request people that you should think on all the cases that we see around us being reported in the news. Before you react in such inhuman way, please try to see yourself, your mother, your sister or your daughter in those girls. Because if you do that, I don't think you will be able to open your mouth and use your tongue to even react like that. Because I believe unless of course the things happen to us, we don't understand the real pain of it, isn't it? And I don't say it should happen to everyone. Oh please, it's the worst thing. I pray all the women, all the girls, all the babies who are born get saved. Now, I would like to throw a little awareness onto the part as to the attitude part. Okay, now what we see in all these is the attitude of the person. Now, there are three components in attitude. The first one is the cognitive part. Okay, now the cognitive part is your opinion or your belief. For example, I believe or you believe that women has to wear this, or it is not good. That is your belief. no issues for the society, keep it. That is, you have every right to think in your way, unless of course you don't force it to someone. The second part is the affective part. This is the part where your emotions and feelings come. Okay, so when you have a trigger, one person said, see those girls, revealing clothes or short dress. So that is a trigger according to him. So his opinion will cause him, for that particular trigger event, a particular emotion. That is what he says as losing control. Now I know men will enjoy the beauty of women. Now if you say sari is a traditional wear of India, and I would say that is insane to say traditional and trying to protect women with sari, because sari, as we know, is the most sexiest wear and attracting wear for a woman, accepted according to the world, not just India, throughout the world. And yet we think we are protecting women with wearing a sari alone. Salwar kameez is much more better according to me in that case. So it's about the emotions. So if you lose control, that is the effective part of your attitude. You lose control, no issues for us. Now the third part is where we have the importance of the attitude. That is your behavior. That is your action that you do. If you lose your control, what should be your behavior? You have two parts. Either turn your eyes, move your thoughts to something else, or leave the place. Or second, you can use these feelings to force on someone and end up in a rape. So this is what the attitude is about. So always the first and second part, that is your opinions and beliefs, which forms your cognitive part of your attitude, and also the affective part of the attitude, which is your emotions and feelings that arises. It is up to you whether you can put it, how you put it into action to the real world. So that is where we want these minority group of people having this myth and ideologies about this rape event should rethink. Maybe they should practice. You can do that. It's not impossible. And there is this other 3 E's I would like to discuss with you about the attitude, the 3 E's of attitude I call it. So one is the experience part, one is the environment, and one is the education. So I hope we are having a revision in the education policies, and we are expecting a huge change in terms of the education for the upcoming generations. And this is one aspect where the attitude of the upcoming generations can be influenced a lot. We have to provide sex education it is being provided maybe, but it's not reaching the real interiors of the Indian villages. It has to reach everywhere. So I don't know if this video will reach the required people or not, but this is my humble initiative to create an awareness. That is all. It is not a video to show the power of women or anything like that. It is just to throw a little light of awareness among people as a part of holding hands with the other entities who are trying to bring up and pull apart this myth among the people. So if you think this is something worthwhile, please do support, share. Namaste, Jai Hind.